Oddly enough, BigBoss gets a little more eager to trade as well because, you know, the combo game isn't quite there with Arsene. It's more strong hit, next strong hit, next strong hit. But you need to win neutral a lot more, and that's where BigBoss is kind of shine, I think. I mean, Arsene, for as big of a buff as it is, it will change the rhythm of the game a lot, and that's where BigBoss is really going to come into play. And we're going to start out where else but PS2. Again, they know each other so much that they've been playing this matchup in this stage for like 5 years now.
That's right. I mean, these two right here just certainly know each other's tricks. Let's see if they brought something new to the table. This is Delfino Maza. This ain't your weekly or your monthly, okay? This is one of the best tournaments I've ever had the pleasure of being at. And both of these two players certainly try to give me a show. They know I'm a visitor here. Okay, nice. There's the down air in the corner. That's certainly going to be something he's going to have to worry about, especially when Arsene is here. The recovery options, as we all know, changed up ever so slightly. Oh, my goodness, yes. I love that. Nair, I feel like on Rob, obviously a very telegraphed move, my goodness. And, of course, caught at the top of the blast zone, unfortunately enough. Cold start right here for BigBoss.
You know, I told you about the telegraph moves from BigBoss, but I thought those were going to come through in like game 3 or something. And now the very first exchange that takes the stock happens because of that telegraph neutral air. Granted, Cloudy now losing Arsene, and I did see that Arsene was not going to be that big of an effect. BigBoss is getting the stock after Arsene is gone. But you know what? It did its job. And here comes a possible Futuro. He drops it, though.
Oh, my goodness. A bit of a cold start right there and a drop combo. Hopefully this isn't shades of what, you know, might come here in the very near future. There's that down tilt. Okay, quick party starter. That's your gyro. Pick up your toys. Okay, now he's looking for some of this residual damage. BigBoss certainly can say the same. When that top is out, you run into that. I mean, we have seen what happens when you get caught between Rob and the top. It ain't nothing nice. Okay, nice. Another Nair. -4 on shield too, by the way, so very difficult move to deal with. You know, it's very large. You know, it's a bit of a slow startup as well, so people think I should be able to just kind of go toe-to-toe with this move, but no, very safe.
For sure, and BigBoss knowing how to space it, now he's going to try and catch Cloudy all the way up there. Look at how deep Cloudy's going to avoid the approaches from BigBoss. Granted, the laser is only going to secure the new routing for Cloudy to be stopped. Now, fun-friendly facts. Last year, Delfino Maza wasn't a major, it was an invitational. It was called Reta. And Cloudy got the victory on Meister. Really? I don't remember if he got to play BigBoss, but you know what? This man can definitely pull the offset against any of the brethren, even if he doesn't travel too much. He does have a visa, by the way. But he does not travel too much. He's a bit of a silver pick, but be sure, everybody, he might just get the victory here, especially with Arsene now, but he cannot fight up against the back here.
Oh, my goodness. He just knows how to deal with Arsene. This is really the biggest key factor, I feel like, in dealing with Joker. Joker, you know, by himself, a very strong character, a lot of tools, a lot of things that make him very difficult to deal with. He still has with Arsene, but the key to this match, of course, is how you're going to deal with them once Arsene is here, because I'm a firm believer that when you have Arsene, it's okay to actually camp and slow the match down a little bit. Cloudy, of course, holding forward. That's sort of the match BigBoss is looking for here. Again, it ain't like Rob can't box. There's down tilt, there's down smash, and there's the match right there, friends. What did I tell you?
Kind of missing out on a lot there. Cloudy, he did not attempt the approach with Fair 1 too much. He would rather go for neutral air, actually, to then try to go into tech chase, maybe get the down throw combos going. And I think this is a chance for him to, you know, step back a little bit and think of how BigBoss was moving. I still think that Fair 1 is probably one of his best options here in this matchup to start up some big combos. He also went for a lot of drag downs and then attempted the up smashes. He might not have connected them all, but the pieces are there. I think the pieces are there for Cloudy to pull up something huge, and if it don't work, he's got Sephiroth in the back, which I'm not sure about if it's effectiveness, but it's the other character he has.
It is the other character. I'm a little worried about Sephiroth, you know, versus Rob, right? I just feel like, you know, Sephiroth, of course, has that range factor. I'm just really concerned with what happens when Rob breaks that zone. You know, I feel like Sephiroth's quickest option is what, like, Nair out of shield, and that's frame 12 now, so it becomes a bit slower if I'm not mistaken. I just feel like that's not something that he wants to deal with. You know, I really like the Joker, though. You know, I know you brought up, you know, the importance of first hit fair, but we've seen more Nair there. Yes. Nair, kind of like Rob's fair, slow on the startup, very, very safe. -5. You know what I'm saying? I feel like you're going to really have to bring your fastest moves to sort of deal with that up close and personal. Let's see if he leans into it a bit more.
Let's see if he also catches BigBoss on the times where he's just charging up. I think he, you know, sometimes BigBoss just takes a step back, right? He's in his area, but I think that Cloudy is always within the range to start a run, maybe a dash grab and such, and the grabs and the throws have been so big for Cloudy in the past. However, BigBoss is now ready with the first option to throw the gyro and start a big combo too. And look, from one gyro throw, he's getting all the way to 74%, just like that. Cloudy started so well, but now he might just lose this one. Arsene
Oh my goodness, sending Rob to the scrapyard very quickly. Cloudy, of course, huge turnaround from what we've seen in that first game, of course. And again, I feel like this is just better utilization of your tools, gets the parry. As we said before, you know, Rob's aerials, if they're not very fast, they're either slow and very safe on shield. And of course, Cloudy, knowing how to sift through the chaos, always has the right option forever which one is thrown out. Okay, Arsene has left the building, but a pretty considerable lead here. Okay, landing with that frame 6 I said, I need you to back it up, bro. Oh. Also, big shout out to my boy Hazmat in the chat. I see you, baby. I said, I see you.
Yeah, it's a Hazmat as well. Hopefully we can have you here someday, buddy. Now an up smash is going to take away the first stock from Cloudy's side. He did spend quite a while with that first one. However, the neutral air is once again what's really pushing him forward. No fair one or anything. It's just neutral air to push BigBoss out of the stage. That's where Cloudy wants him to be. That's where the pistols are going to come into play too. Joker's gun. And little by little, that percent adds up. Then the Arsene comes through, and that's your finisher.
No doubt about it, man. I would like to see a little bit more of that, man. I feel like, yeah, there it is. Okay, he said, if you ask, you shall receive. I feel like we have not seen as much of the off-stage presence as we've seen from the opposite end on BigBoss' behalf towards Cloudy. I know it's only game 2, but it's one of those things you really want to set in place early. There's the ledge trap and go. Love the gyro right there in the corner. Forcing a different, oh my goodness, forcing a different recovery option. And it looks like the beginning animation right there. BigBoss is back there, stuffed out by Cloudy's, kind of beating him to the draw.
And with 160%, pretty much anything will do. Cloudy bidding for an up still secure, but unfortunately Arsene is now going to be gone. And BigBoss has put himself, oh my god, in a fantastic position. Dude, double back here. He dropped down just far enough to catch Cloudy with the second one, and that percent meant close to nothing. It's just extra rage for BigBoss. He is not afraid to push in. Granted, he does, you know, keep his distance and everything. Arsene is back. Now is when he needs to camp it out a little bit, but Arsene is doing no effect. Dude, such a perfect start from BigBoss so far. He wants to close it out.
Oh my goodness, that's just great situational awareness. He said, look, I know Arsene is here. My best thing right now, if I can't KO you towards center stage, if I don't have enough room to run around because the stage is a bit smaller, the best thing to do is to keep you off stage or out in that blast zone. Great stuff right there from the biggest boss, holding it down. Let's see what we get here for this next game. Not a bad showing from Cloudy by any stretch of the imagination, mind you. Love that strong start, but it really felt like he started to cool out towards the middle of that match.
The problem is that he could not connect a single back here, not even with Vanilla Joker. That's how BigBoss got to live for so long. He only took 10% on that final stock of his, or that second stock of his actually, it was a 2-stock. And now here comes Cloudy. I think I hear a different character, but we're just gonna have to wait and see the character selection screen. I think I heard something different. He also has a wolf.
What do you think?
The 7? No! Iron Mythra, something that I did not consider, but I think it's definitely a little bit better than that Sephiroth. And yes, we do start with Mythra. I actually saw Meister and Wonk going to game 5. It was real close. Wonk could not quite close it, but it was Aegis that he was playing. So Aegis putting on a show so far. Leo's using them too today in this tournament.
I mean, it's a very strong character, especially to play Mythra. I feel like in some of these earlier exchanges and interactions, she just does such a great job of kind of dancing around Rob if there even is really such a thing. I mean, Rob's boxing options are so great, but again, you have the ability to use foresight. Okay, if those combo strings aren't airtight on Rob's behalf, you can, you know, sneak a couple of those in there. You also have better mobility, so you can dance around Rob and just, you know, really make it difficult for him to try to, you know, find that pinpoint for you. But here's Pyra. I mean, this is, I mean, what do we need to say about her that hasn't already been said? You know why she's here, okay? The real question is, can you stop her from doing it? It looks like BigBoss is answering that question for me.
So far, so good. I do think, however, that Mythra is where it's at. Cloudy got so many early percent openings with it, with her. And of course, Pyra here to try and close out the stock. However, Cloudy not really committing to going that far up. Of course, BigBoss is going to be the owner of the sky for the most part, but in the hopes of the trades, Cloudy is also hitting a ton of percent. Look at that, he's already at 71, and you know, things are not looking easy for him because the fair can just stop so many approaches. BigBoss, though, now in a very hard position. The fairs didn't, sorry, the uppers never connected. The up tilt is not going to take him down just yet.
Getting big right now. I feel like, you know, some of her options are very telegraphed, but again, just due to how much damage she outputs, it's very hard, you know what I'm saying, to work around. Got to show, of course, Pyra a lot of respect. Ooh. Oh my goodness, yes, I'll take your toys. And there's a dash attack right there to close out the immediate switch back over to Mythra too. Very smart, knowing that this is a bit of a lead, but there's foresight. This is exactly what I was talking about before. Rob up close and personal, again, sneakily enough, has some very strong boxing tools, but foresight kind of makes BigBoss think twice before swinging haphazardly.
especially when Mythra's in the table. The combo game is going to be so good for Cloudy. Now this side B won't be punished. Instead, BigBoss just air dodges back into the stage, but he is lined up to maybe get a spike going, but the downers are not going to connect just yet. 161% though, you can feel the end of this life coming. However, Cloudy, lord of the stage, and he is finally going to connect that sweet up here to get the lead after a long while being at this bench.
Yeah, you know what, sometimes good things come to those who wait. And I feel like, Cloudy, of course, is, playing the long game. I will give him that. My goodness. Okay, yes, the long game definitely working out right now. And this is exactly what, I'm saying, I love to see. Oh, wow. Okay, the quick stage check, did not expect to see that. Okay, now this is great corner control, as always, here from Cloudy. Just the looming threat right now. Pyra in the corner. Of course, you have, her up tilt. Typically enough with some of the sorties like her and Cloud. We'll see like the turnaround pivot up tilt to try to throw the opponent off. But unfortunately, Pyra's time comes to a closing draw.
One thing that I really like about Cloudy's new game plan, depending on the percent he's at, is that he has stopped jumping so much. Like, he is not trying to fight the fight aerially against BigBoss. Just catch him on the landing instead. You talk about the neutral air and how you could punish that, but it's not a huge window. However, he is able to do just that. Sometimes it's the prominence revolt, sometimes it's the upper, sometimes it's just going for the trade out, right? You have the range for it, why not go for it? And yes, BigBoss is suffering big time for it. However, if he's able to catch Cloudy in the air, you could see the beginning of something big, but he always misses.
Always misses. This is exactly what I was talking about before. That ability to dance around BigBoss is going to really drive you closer to another game, and I'm loving the adjustments right there from Cloudy. Of course, that one, pretty scary, I'll be honest. Came down to the absolute wire. But when it was all said and done, they're able to rise to the occasion. So clean, too. I feel like Mythra just became a bit of a thorn in BigBoss's side. I feel like, when he was playing against the Joker, we see more boxing exchanges. We see more down tilt. We see more F tilt, standing jab, up tilt, the anti-air. We didn't see that as much here. And I think that was due to the fact that Cloudy just kept their movements so ambiguous. Even somebody as talented as BigBoss just could not pinpoint, like you were saying, where they're going.
Also because when Cloudy got that up here to get the second stock on BigBoss, that was a mix-up in itself. I mean, BigBoss, I'm not saying that every move you throw out has the intention of actually connecting. Usually you will connect, but Cloudy threw enough up here to kind of condition BigBoss into going elsewhere. Like, he was in his head at that point, and the final offer that did connect for the second stock, that was the culmination of this entire preparation that Cloudy was going for. And BigBoss has been falling on those tricks a little too much. However, that was only the first game with Aegis. This is either the adaptation from BigBoss or domination from Cloudy. We're going to game number 4, everybody. And as you know, this is winner's side, so either BigBoss moves on or he's going to have to play a much longer game. This is for top 32, however.
That's right. There's a lot of money on the line here at this wonderful tournament here in Mexico. So, of course, both sides certainly bringing their A game. But BigBoss, I mean, one thing we just cannot ignore in this set is that BigBoss has a very commanding lead, of course. Had a really strong game 1 and 2. But this could be the sign of something to come. Now, in the last game, I feel like Cloudy, played, pretty close to the chest for the most part. Really took his time, a lot of patience, where BigBoss was like, I'm not knocking on any open doors. I'm taking all opportunities as much as I can. Now we're seeing a complete turnaround here, too. Look at this. I mean, 105% as this match kicks off. This is Cloudy reborn.
And Cloudy getting double parries. One on the neutral air to stop the approaches with that, and then the laser just for an extra call out. And grabbing the gyro even, dude! The gyro drop into the F smash. Had that been Pyra, that robot would be long gone. And here comes the sharking with the up air once again. This time not connecting, but again, these are just landing the pieces for something big later down the line. The Prominence Revolt is going to take the first stock from BigBoss. What did I tell you guys? They're brethren. They have played for so long. BigBoss knows what he's facing off against, and Cloudy knows how to get into his friends' heads.
That's right, and he is most certainly on his Professor X flow right now. Oh, you in some trouble, though. A bit of an overextension. We're not quite seeing that up-close and personal dominance that we've seen in game 1 and 2 right here. But BigBoss, oh, wait a minute. He said maybe less is more. That's why. That's why. If I can't get it done on stage, the off-stage presence, even if I'm not out there applying that real pressure, is enough to do it because we have that linear of recovery. And I didn't really think about how much of a difference that's going to make. Joker, great recovery tools, whether it's Arson, whether it's Base Joker. Pyra and Mythra, they aren't the worst recovery tools in the game, but there's a lot to be desired.
I was wondering at first, maybe the down air would connect a lot more easily on the side B. This was technically just pushing him a little too far off, right? He did not get to grab the ledge. That's the only reason why Cloudy lost. He was darn close, however. but VGBoss, knowing what he's going to force him to do, could line himself up for the downer and just finish the job right then and there. Granted, the percent is quite even now, or at least it's getting close enough. I think that VGBoss can close out the distance soon if he is able to even get into the stage at first, though. And there you go, gonna cheese on Cloudy. Only a couple of downtons, however. Cloudy with that great SDI, and he also rushes in for the grabs. You know, earlier he whipped a dash grab, and that's what got him a lot of percent on his side. But as time goes on, he's becoming a little bit cleaner on those, and you can see it in the percent lead.
Oh, no doubt about that. You definitely don't want to overextend anything on either of these two players' behalf. Wait a minute.
No!
Oh, it don't even matter. But this, I love that, though. The side special just for good measure, just in case you get blessed with those good DLC magnet hands. Let me just go ahead and put that final nail in the coffin for you. Bit of a trade right here. Now, we talked about the importance of that, too, before this match kicked off. Trading, especially when one side has the lead, isn't the worst thing in the world to do. But, of course, Joker, Arsene, you know, Mythra has Pyra. It's not about just trading haphazardly. It's about trading in the right moments right now. And I feel like every hit should certainly be clean. Oh, yeah, he said we're going to stall this one out. I'm chilling, bro. I'm chilling.
At 177, you can definitely make good use of that range of yours. However, Cloudy has no reason to switch into Mythra. All right, he does just for the extra added movement. But there you have it. He has a gyro now, and with 202%, well, just about anything will do. The side B won't quite connect, though. VGBoss still putting under pressure. If he gets a grab here, I think he can get something pretty big started, or just push him off stage. Cloudy's in a very tight position. He does make it back to the center, though.
I am scared of this. This is terrifying to deal with. Caught in the corner again. There's a gyro. Nice. And just letting him set the whole trap up, not falling prey to the things that Rob definitely brings to the table. Up here, no, we're chilling. Ceiling's too big here, bro. But wait a minute, let me rinse and repeat. Oh man, that's such a rough finish right there on Cloudy's behalf. Played so strong, but of course, VGBoss just knowing the art of the trade on Pyra and Mythra. I feel like that right there is just what really drove them to that victory. We've seen a lot more up airs come out, especially up close and personal on Pyra's behalf. I believe that one's her safest aerial in that toolkit, being -4 or 5 or something, but it just was not enough right there. VGBoss moving on.
Another issue for Cloudy. This happened too in the second game with Joker still in Bay. He missed so many closing options. Like, he never hit a back air when VGBoss was around 200%. Same thing happened here just with the uppers, or really any aerial at that point. Pyra was going to get the kill so easily, and yet VGBoss became the one who was really dancing around Cloudy this time. Like, we were talking about Cloudy, how he became the leader of the dance for a minute, how he conditioned VGBoss into falling into his aerials. It seems like, you know, VGBoss just learned to dance now, and, you know, he is the one getting the high-scoring chess dance this time. Yeah,
I mean, he didn't just learn to dance. He's like, this is my favorite dance. That was his only dance. I mean, VGBoss, of course, it's not enough to, of course, be a strong player and to play a character like Rob, too. That character takes a lot of precision, but adaptation, I feel like, is one thing that really separates a lot of, like, you know, the top professional talent. This is from the good and the great players. You know, a good or a great player knows their character. They know their win condition, and they're playing to that, but sometimes the adaptation just really isn't there. But we certainly got to see a masterclass that I feel like between Cloudy and VGBoss. You know, the importance of a character switch.